convent. We are all part of the same stone, and the stone is finally transparent. As the sun set on the quincentennial +1, the bells of St. Vincent's began to toll. It was a sound that didn't just stay in the valley. It seemed to resonate through time itself. Ruth and Sam sat on their porch, watching the golden mist settle over the hills. They were old now, their hands intertwined, a testament to a love that had survived every storm. "It's a beautiful story, Sam," Ruth whispered. "It's the only story, Ruth," Sam replied. In the laboratory, the light finally went out, but the garden continued to glow, a vibrant, eternal indigo, waiting for the next generation to hear the song. Great Slaughter was more than a village. It was a sanctuary where the past and the future had finally, and forever, become one. Chapter 23. The Modern Sentinel. 5 years after Sister Boniface's peaceful passing, Helena Gillespie had fully assumed leadership of the Boniface Institute. At 25, she was a bridge between two worlds: the ancient, silent halls of St. Vincent's, and the frantic, digital noise of the 21st century. The Golden Pollen event had changed everything. The Institute was no longer a village secret. It was a global landmark. Yet, with fame came a more insidious kind of shadow. No longer were the threats just men in suits or corporate sharks. They were digital ghost algorithms designed to crack the genetic code of the apostle seeds through remote sensing and cyber. "They're probing the perimeter again," Superintendent Livingston, Helena said, her eyes fixed on a glowing monitor in the updated lab. Felix, now gray-haired but still sharp, stood behind her. Not the stone walls, but the data servers. "Someone is trying to synthesize the resonant frequency." "It's Ouroboros," Felix replied, his voice a low growl. "They've evolved into a decentralized network. They don't want the seeds anymore, Helena. They want the song that makes them work." Helena looked out at the garden. The indigo gold flowers were quiet, their leaves shimmering in the twilight. She felt a strange vibration in her chest, a low hum that she had felt since she was a child. It wasn't a frequency you could record. It was a frequency you had to live. Chapter 24. The Digital Eye. The attack came at 3 a.m., the hour of the wolf. A massive cyber surge targeted the Institute's cooling systems and the garden's automated misting units. If the temperature rose too high, the delicate resonant balance of the apostle seeds would be shattered forever. As the technicians scrambled to restore the firewalls, Helena did something that shocked them all. She grabbed a simple wooden staff, the one Julian had left behind, walked into the dark garden. "Helena, get back inside," her father, Sam, called out. He was frail now, leaning on a cane, but the fire of a policeman still burned in his eyes. "They're attacking the logic, Dad," Helena called back. "I need to give the flowers something that can't be hacked." In the center of the garden, beneath the ancient oak, Helena knelt. She didn't use a computer. She used her voice. She began to sing the low, melodic vibration she had discovered as a child. It was a song of memory, of Boniface's goggles, of Sam's tweed jacket, of Ruth's ink-stained fingers, and of the 500 years of peace that the stone had absorbed. As she sang, a miracle occurred. The indigo gold flowers began to pulse. Their bioluminescence didn't just glow. It projected a field of energy that short-circuited the sophisticated scanning drones hovering above the convent. The cyber attack hit a wall of pure, living intent. The servers stabilized. The firewalls held. The digital ghost of Ouroboros found itself staring into an eye. He could not understand the living eye of Providence. Chapter 25. The Foundation of the Soul. The following morning, Julian returned. He looked exactly as he had decades ago, as if the Cotswold mist had preserved him in amber. He found Helena in the lab, exhausted but triumphant. "You've done more than protect the seeds," Helena, Julian said, his eyes filled with a new respect. "You've proven that the heirloom isn't just botanical, it's human. The seeds are just the medium. The message is the resonance between the earth and the soul." Julian handed her a final artifact, a small, translucent stone found in the same Middle Eastern ruins where Elias and Helena had once stood. "This is the anchor. It doesn't contain a code. It contains a vibration of absolute peace. Place it at the center of the north cloister." As Helena placed the anchor, the entire convent seemed to sigh. The stone heart was no longer just a metaphor. It was a radiant, transparent reality. The Institute would continue to heal the world, but it would do so on its own terms, guarded not just by police or scientists, but by the song of the Guardians. Helena stood at the arched window, The same one where Sister Boniface had stood so many years ago. The mist was lifting, revealing the rolling hills of Great Slaughter. She saw her mother, Ruth, sitting in the courtyard, writing the final chapter of her memoirs. She saw her father, Sam, laughing with Felix. The foundations were not just safe, they were eternal. Chapter 26. The Resonance of Mercy. As the years flowed on, Helena Gillespie realized that the true power of the seeds was not in the individual cure, but in the environment they created. The golden pollen had fundamentally altered the ecology of Great Slaughter. The bees were stronger, the water clearer, and the people seemed to find common ground more easily than ever before. However, a new challenge arose not from greed, but from desperation. A massive famine and plague had struck a neighboring continent, and the world looked to Great Slaughter for a miracle. The ethical dilemma was crushing. If the Institute released the unrefined synthesis, it could be corrupted. If they withheld it, millions would die. Helena sat in the library, the anchor stone glowing softly on her desk. She remembered Sister Boniface's words. The truth only blooms when it is shared. She made the decision that would define her legacy. She wouldn't just send medicine, she would send the song. She broadcasted the resonant frequency of the Apostle seeds globally. A digital vibration of peace that allowed their own indigenous versions of the medicinal flower. It was a final blow to the corporate sharks the world now had an heirloom of humanity. Chapter 27. The Final Leaf. The autumn of Sam and Ruth's lives was a long, gentle sunset. They had lived to see Great Slaughter become a sanctuary for the world. One quiet evening, as the lavender scent was thick in the air, Sam sat on the porch and reached for Ruth's hand. "Do you remember the day you walked into the hall with that sharp London jacket, Ruth?" Sam asked, his voice a soft rasp. "I remember the way you gasped, Sam Gillespie," Ruth replied, a ghost of that familiar mischief in her eyes. "You look like a man who had seen a ghost, or a headline." "I saw my life," Sam whispered. That night, Sam and Ruth passed away peacefully in their sleep, their hands still intertwined. The village didn't mourn them with silence. They celebrated them with music. Their love had been the true catalyst for the redemption of Great Slaughter, a human resonance that had anchored the divine work of the sisters. Helena stood at their grave, flanked by Felix and the sisters. She didn't feel abandoned. She felt completed. Chapter 28. The Heart of the Valley. A new quincentennial approached. The convent of St. Vincent's had transformed. The stone walls were now interwoven with the golden indigo vines of the apostle plants, creating a living cathedral that hummed with the vibration of the anchor. Sister Boniface's laboratory remained preserved as a museum of mercy. Young novices from all over the world came to study the retorts and the goggles, but mostly, they came to learn the song. Helena, now an elder of the village, walked through the cloisters. She felt the presence of all who had come before: the legendary archaeologist Helena, the brilliant chemist Boniface, the brave earl who gave everything back to God, and her own parents. "The heart is no longer stone," Helena whispered to the wind. "The spirit of the valley is home." Chapter 29. The Memory of Water. Years after the passing of her parents, Helena felt a strange pull toward the convent's ancient well, hidden deep beneath the north cloister. It was a part of St. Vincent's that even Sister Boniface had left largely untouched. Helena, guided by a recurring dream of flowing silver, commissioned a safe descent. At the bottom of the well, far below the waterline, she found a submerged chamber. It wasn't an archaeological site. It was a within, a single, glowing vial was encased in the same translucent stone as the anchor. This was Boniface's true faith. It wasn't a seed, but a liquid concentrate of pure intent, the baseline resonance of the original apostle flowers before they were exposed to the modern world. She knew, Helena realized, holding the cool vial, she knew the world would eventually create a noise so loud we would forget the song. This is the silence we need to hear. Helena integrated this silence into the Institute's global broadcast. It didn't change the medicine, but it changed the way people received it. It brought a moment of profound stillness to those in pain, allowing the body to heal not just from the drug, but from the restoration of the soul. Chapter 30. The Universal Pulse. The world was changing. The threat